Triumphant Kids Corner!
It's Sunday Fun Day! Welcome to Triumphant Kids Corner. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Good morning! Good morning! How are you guys? Alright, let's dive right into our lessons. Are you ready? For my 2 to 5-year-olds, your story, let me say this actually. Everybody, again, has the same story title, Ruth and Boaz. That is what we're going to be reading about, or those are the people we'll be reading about today. All right, and to my 2 to 5-year-olds, this is what your activity sheet looks like. My 1st to 3rd graders, this is your activity sheet. And my 4th to 6th graders, this is your activity sheet. All right, friends, grab your stories. Grab a seat.
Let's get ready for story time!
Naomi was sad when her husband and sons died. She decided to move back to her hometown. She told her son's wife, Ruth, to go home to her own family. But Ruth loved Naomi and wanted to go with her. Ruth and Naomi went to Bethlehem. They needed food to eat. Ruth went into the fields to gather grain for their food. She walked behind the workers and picked up any grain they left on the ground. Ruth was in a field that belonged to Boaz. Boaz saw her and made sure she had plenty of grain. Boaz was a relative of Naomi. Boaz knew Ruth was kind and helpful to Naomi. Naomi and Ruth were thankful for the food and for Boaz caring about them. Later, Boaz and Ruth were married. Ruth had a baby boy. Boaz and Ruth named the baby Obed. Naomi helped to take care of the baby. Ruth, Boaz, Obed, and Naomi were a happy family.
Today's story is called Ruth and Boaz. Naomi had a hard life. She and her husband and their 2 sons moved to Moab because there was a famine in Bethlehem where they lived. Soon, some terrible things happened. Naomi's husband died, and she was left alone with her sons. The sons married women from Moab, but later her sons died. Naomi decided to go back to Bethlehem to live near her relatives. Ruth, one of Naomi's daughters-in-law, decided to go with her. Naomi wanted Ruth to stay in Moab with her family, but Ruth would not leave Naomi's side. Ruth declared, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." Naomi and Ruth returned to Bethlehem at harvest time. The women had no way to earn money for food, so Ruth received permission to gather grain that was left in the fields by the workers. Boaz, a relative of Naomi, saw Ruth working in his fields. He was kind to Naomi, and he told his workers to leave extra grain behind for Ruth to gather. He told Ruth to work only in his field, where she would be safe and drink the water provided for his workers. Boaz said to Ruth, "I have heard what you have done for my mother-in-law. May God reward you." Naomi was proud of Ruth. Ruth was kind to Naomi and took care of her. Naomi's friends told Naomi, "Ruth is better to you than 7 sons." In time, Ruth and Boaz were married, and they had a son named Obed. Naomi loved the child and helped care for him. Obed grew up and was the father of Jesse and the grandfather of King David. Obed was also an ancestor of Jesus.
Now, our craft, of course, is going to be geared towards our story, and we're going to be doing something that deals with wheat. We know that Naomi lost her family, her sons and her husband, and Ruth was her only daughter-in-law to go back with her and who stayed with her, but they had no food. They had no way to provide for themselves. All the men in their family were gone. So Ruth, she started picking up the leftovers or the droppings of those who were pickers, picking up wheat in the fields. And who noticed her? Boaz. All right. So Boaz he found favor, or she found favor in his eyes, and basically he gave her more grain and helped to take care of Ruth and Naomi. And at the end, they became married and had a son named Obed. And at the very end, my 2 to 5 year olds, you don't have this part in your story, but my 1st to 6th graders, at the end of your story, you learn that Obed was the father of Jesse, who was the father of King David, who, I wouldn't say the father of Jesus, Jesus is in King David's lineage. And I know this may fly over your heads, but we'll dig deeper into this, and I'll revert back to this and connect the dots. Don't worry about it. Parents, step in. Yeah, right here. Explain that part. All right, so let's dive right in, and this is what you're going to need: paper plates, a stapler, adults only. If you trust your child, go right ahead. If you have children's scissors or kids scissors, that's fine. Scissors, crayons, colored pencils, or markers. All right, now I have a marker and a colored pencil, and you'll see why I have just those two. And all right, forgive the scraps, but either you have this color construction paper, this is like a mustard yellow, or if you have like a nice tan, this still looks like wheat. And what you're going to do, I had 2 sheets of construction paper. I folded it into 4s, and then I drew like a long oval, like a stretched out oval shape to kind of symbolize the top of a wheat. You can show them a picture of what wheat looks, or I can probably try to add it in here. If I don't, Google what wheat looks like, and they can kind of get an idea of why we're doing this shape. Okay, now with our paper plate, you're going to take your scissors, and as you can see, I already started, and I cut them in half. And I'm going to show you what the other side looks like in my second angle, and the camera woman will tell me if I'm good to go. All right, so you can see that I shaded it, or I colored the back half of the plate brown. It would be better with a crayon than a colored pencil, so don't worry. And I started drawing lines. Now this will symbolize our basket. Let's finish making our lines. We'll put the other half of the plate to the other side for now. Ooh. Okay, let me do it this way. And you just want it to symbolize a basket. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is enough. Okay? So it's like a crisscross pattern on the back of your plate after you color it brown. Now we're going to make our wheat. And as you can see from here, I already started cutting out some wheat. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So these are my extras. I did more than I needed. That's totally fine. Just wanted to show you how I made my wheat look like this. Or let me show this angle. So it looks like, kind of looks like corn, but you know that corn has a lot more lines. Will have a lot more lines. So maybe if we have a darker brown or the tan construction paper, that'll be fine too. So I took my brown colored pencil, and all I did was, let me show you here, was draw a line going down. Okay, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, that's fine. And then a line's going across. Now I kept it going across the same way. I didn't do it like a leaf. I didn't do it that way. But if you want to, you can, because it still kind of looks like wheat. I like it. Okay, we'll go with it. We'll do one more wheat. A line down the middle. It could follow the curve. Sorry, it's not straight. because I'm trying to show you what it looks like. And I'm just going to do some lines across now. Okay, this is enough. Now, I took some blank wheat cutouts and I wrote words on it. And I'm going to explain these words after we put it together. This is where your stapler will come in. There's something on it, but that's okay. So we know that this will be the front of your basket, and the blank, you could color the back of the basket or the back of the next half of the plate. You can do the same exact thing you did here. That's totally fine. You do not have to. But the idea is to put them together. You see like a little opening. Hello. And you're going to put it together and you're going to staple the edges. Now, I'm thinking before we do that, I want to put the wheat in. And this is where your glue, I forgot to mention glue. We're going to take our glue and we're going to glue it on the inside of the plate that is decorated. So let's say you color both plates, or both halves of the plate, whichever side, because both of them look exactly the same, so it can flip. Be mindful that when you finish it, you want the words and you want the design on the wheat to be facing you, okay? But if you do it the opposite way, that's okay, because you can always flip it. But just, yeah, be mindful of that. So we're gonna take some glue. I think I'm gonna put this on the back part. My back part is blank, so I'm gonna put it there. Put a little glue there. And I don't want to put it all the way down into the plate. And I have some words. And I'm gluing the back of my wheat. This one is a word, a wheat word. That makes sense. And I want to actually, sorry, I messed that up. I should put it where the word is going to be on the, showing on the top half of, like it will show, it will pop through the plate or the basket. So I just messed that up. I'll just take off the excess glue. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna take wheat. Now you don't have to do as much work and as many words as I've done. I did it again, guys. Put it on the wrong side. Make sure I did the right side. Gonna push it as high above the cut. This one may be covered up because it's a long word, but that's okay. So then this gives you a better idea of where you should write your words, and make sure you write it towards the top half of your wheat outline or your wheat cutout, so you're not cutting off any words when you put your craft together. Learn from my mistakes. I'm just gonna squeeze this in here. Okay, so we just glued everything down, And if you have a glue stick, that might have a quicker dry for you. But even using the white glue, it still holds. You could stand it up and it won't fall. Alright, rub off the excess glue. Now I have the front of my basket, and I'm going to staple the edges of the two halves together. Just gonna hold it in place. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it in place and staple. Okay, that's one. Oh. Let's do the other side just in case this decides to act up some more. Okay, that's perfect. I'm gonna do the bottom. And just one more for some more security. Actually, I should do the top edges just so it can stay closed. All right. And now we have our wheat basket. Now, the words. This is something that, these are words that, or how should I say this? Naomi and Ruth, they needed provision. And God provided an opportunity for them to have food, to be favored by Boaz, and to now have a new start of a new family. And they were taken care of. Because Ruth was faithful to Naomi when she didn't have to be, she decided to follow her God and be a part of her belief or her faith. And all they did was, they didn't have a plan. They just went by faith, and Ruth just started picking up because they needed food. God provided a wheat field for them. So on our wheats, we have words, and these are all the things that God has provided for my household. Well, I wouldn't say all the things. A few. I kind of have a lot, so you don't have to put as much. But a few of the things that God has provided, and these may be things that God has provided for you as well. So my first word is peace of mind. In the middle of chaos, in the middle of confusion, in the middle of everything going crazy, God has still provided a peace and sound mind. Okay? A very important thing and something that's dear to my heart, and that was dear to Ruth and Naomi, was food. He provided food. He provides food for you and for me. Family. We all have family, whether they're cousins, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, mom and dad, stepmom and dad, godmothers. They are important. Godfathers are important. Family. And sometimes our friends are more like family than our actual family. So you can even say family and friends, but that's God's provision. And the next one is laughter. It is important to laugh, and I love to laugh. Yeah, so a family that makes me laugh, my family makes me laugh, and I truly appreciate it that God provides laughter, especially in the middle of chaos. Okay, this is one that the camera woman, you can show your hand and say hi. She said peace. Okay. She gave me this word, and this is also important. God also provides financial security. Some sort of security, but financial security is crucial. Ooh. Ooh, yes it is. Anyway, God provides your parents and your family's members with jobs that allow them to have finances, have money to buy you things, money to take care of the house, money to take care of you. God provides financial security, and we thank God for that. And last but not least, house or home. He provides a place for us to live in, and provides a place for us to sleep and to stay and to be kept safe and warm from all the rain and the snow and the wind and the cold. He provides a home. All right. And these are just a few of the words, few of the things that God has provided. There's a lot more, and I want you guys to explore and talk with your children and discuss well, see what they could come up with, the things that God provided for them, that they think that God provided for them. And if they don't really have anything, you can guide the conversation and show them, remember, God provided this and that and this, he provides this. Bring it to their attention, all right? So please have fun with this craft. Let us know what you are doing with it and show us, tag us on Instagram, and you can post it on our Facebook page. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and on YouTube at the Triumphant Church of God. And you can follow us, as I said before, on Instagram at triumphant.youth. That's where you can tag us, triumphant.youth. All right, friends, this is it for our first craft, or our only craft. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you prepare yourself for the beginning of your new week. And see you next week. Bye.